Hey y'all, thank you for joining me today on October the 1st, 2020 for Tiffany's Project Bag podcast, a podcast about all the crafty things. My name is Tiffany and I'm coming to you from a overcast southern Maryland, which is on the east coast of the United States. It's 5 p.m. It's gotten really chilly here in the last half an hour, probably dropped 15 degrees. It's probably fixing to storm here any minute, and I also have to leave shortly to go pick up my son from work. So I'm just gonna plug on through. I hope I don't bombard you with all the things. It's also been 2 months. Yes, I think it's been about 2 months since I last put up a podcast. I just didn't have a whole lot to talk about. I promised a little update that I was going to do a giveaway. I have that for you today. So settle in, buckle up, here we go. First and foremost, I will talk about what I have finished since the last time I put up a show. I've got my notes like all in the wrong order. I finished the Kayame hat, and look at my bag. This is from the Into the Wool Fiber retreat this year, and this bag is stuffed full of things to talk about. This was our goodie bag that each attendee got, and it's a great size. It's also great colors, but I swear y'all, I did not have anything to do with that. That was Dana's suggestion, and of course I went with it. So this is the hat that I had talked about last time. It was still on the needles. It's a Hats for Kiddo hat. Bernat satin, I believe, were soft fern is the green and stardust was the purple. So there's that. Yeah, I have a small head for an adult, but I don't know, maybe this will fit a child of some age or another. If it doesn't go to the early intervention program, it will go to, they partner with the Girl Scouts in the area to distribute hats in other age groups. So they will find someone to fit this hat. I think I did it this size because it was the circulars that I had to work with. Anyway, all the details are on my project page on Ravelry. For that, last time I could not find my changing staircases shawl, and I was able to put my hands on it. So I wanted to show that right quick because it turned out so well. This was one skein, I think it was 94 grams of Unwind Yarn Company round trip sock, which is a singles base fingering weight in the Sophisticate colorway, and I am thrilled with it. I like the shape of it, and I like the slight interruption. I had a phone call that came through, and my Do Not Disturb is set, but obviously it was someone who is in my favorites. So anyway, back on track. I found my changing staircases. I'm very happy with it, and now that it's cooled down, I'll get the chance to wear it, and I can see it being a favorite because the colors are pretty versatile wherever the world I just put it. You know, they will go with a lot. So that's that. It was a fun knit, it went fast, and I recommend you checking out the pattern. I think that was by Dragon Horde. Dragon Horde Yarn? Dragon Horde Designs, yes. Okay, so next finished objects since I last spoke to you. I did a test knit for this pattern for my friend Mary, Kino Knits, and she had the hat designed and was asking for a few testers, and then she has since released mittens to match. I did not test those because of time restraints, but this is the undergraduate hat, and it sizes from preemie on up to, I believe, extra large adult. It's a colorwork hat, and I saw it in person. Mary and I had the opportunity to meet up back in August, and I saw it in person, and I fell in love. And as soon as it became available for testing, I knew that I had to have it. So yeah, it took me 3 color choices to decide on a color scheme, but this is Holly and Ivy sock it makes his eyes pop is the blue, and then the gray is Nitpick Stroll in the Dove Heather colorway. This hat is 127 yards. I knitted on a size 2, 2.75 millimeter needle, and this is the size 4. Again, it's a donation for Hats for Kiddos. Now this one is more appropriate to a child that they distribute to. So I think I had my nephew, who is 16, 17 months, put it on, and it just barely covers his ears. So I think that probably maybe in the 9 to 12 month range is what this is designed for. So anyway, I'm very happy with it, and now that I have the pattern, I would like to make one for myself. Probably won't make the mittens. I'm not real big on mittens. I have plenty, so there is that. I really wish that crow would knock it off. That would, no, it's a blue jay. It's one or the other, but it's annoying, whatever it is. Okay, Bloomington morning. At the retreat, this was a big hit. It was actually the only shawl that I took with me to wear. I mean, I don't know, the temperatures were going to be conducive to wearing knitwear, but I never thought about taking a bunch of knitwear with me for some silly reason or another. So anyway, this got a lot of wear is what I'm telling you. Bloomington Morning is a shawl designed by Lisa K. Ross, who is also Paper Daisy Creations all over the internet. It was a part of a collection where I think for 3 consecutive months you bought the first design and the pattern was dropped into your library, one each month for the duration of the 3-month period. Words. I'm sure you can figure out what I'm trying to say. Again, this was, I used Unwind Yarn Company. This is Journey Sock and Twinkle Sock. So Teal Timber is the Journey Sock. That's this teal here. And then the Twinkle Sock is Side Pony. And look at how pretty this is. It's a crescent shaped shawl. And as soon as I saw it coming, before it was even released, I knew what I wanted to do. So I'm thrilled with this. This was the 3rd time that I made this teal timber into something, and it's gonna stick this time. It was just too pretty. I had to, I couldn't justify making it into something and then not using it. So this was a colorway that Dana dyed, I think it was 2 years in a row during the month of September, if I'm remembering correctly, for ovarian cancer awareness. And she discounted it and asked you to make up the difference in a donation to a couple of different organizations that support ovarian cancer awareness and research. So that's that. 774 yards of a size 6 needle, which I believe I went up 1 needle size from what the pattern called for, which meant that I had to cut off the patterning just a little bit sooner than called for. But I couldn't be more happy with this. Yes, so that's that. My Christmas socks. I only showed it to you in yarn form the last time. Now, I cast these on July 1st, and it took me until like a week ago to finish them. So late September. I'm not a sock knitter. I've made this declaration a couple different times. I took these with me and worked on them at the retreat while I was visiting with Dana at her house. So anyway, all these things helped me to accomplish getting them off the needles. This was 56 stitches, cuff down, which is kind of my standard, size 2 needles, and I used 62 grams of a 100 gram cake. And it's just round and round. I didn't do any kind of patterning. The colorway is Mint Rain hand-dyed self-striping twist sock in the Grinch colorway. That's what makes them my Christmas socks. I did do a garter stitch short row heel, which Dana is a big fan of. I've done it a couple different times. but it goes so fast and it fits me well. So, and then just a wedge toe. So yes, here they are, my matchy Christmas socks. And yay, come December or late November, probably not until at least after Thanksgiving. I compartmentalize my holidays just like I compartmentalize everything else in my life. So anyway, they'll be ready for me when I'm ready for them. I think there was only one other finished object, and that was these little booties. I took these and started them at the retreat. It's really not a hard pattern. This is the Converse, little Converse, I think they're called. Let me double check that. Little Converse. And I'm not sure who the designer is, but little Converse, they're in my project page. They look just like Converse tennis shoes. So I have a friend who's having a baby, and very soon actually, and I knew I wanted to make her something because she's very knit-worthy. Her oldest child wore her sweater up until, that I knit her a cardigan, up until she could no longer wear it. They called it her house coat. So they're super knit-worthy people. Look at my new cup. I bought this at the market at Into the Wool. It's an Unwind Originals cup. It's a mason jar shape, obviously. And I just love it. Dana sent it to me when she was working on it, in process pictures, and I knew that if it didn't sell at the market, that it was going home with me. I'm sorry that it's not sunny out here, because to show the glitz would just be, you know, icing on the cake. But anyway, I've got some sparkling water in there today. Back to the booties. Here they are. Aren't they cute? Oh my gosh, they're so cute. They're just some acrylic in white, black, and blue. I didn't even weigh, well, I weighed the yarn prior, but I messed up, so I didn't think it would, and I had, like, I trashed the yarn that I messed up with, so it wouldn't give an accurate representation anyway, but the pair weighs 25 grams. So, and they're meant to be newborn size, but they're just so stinking cute. So yeah, not a lot to say about that. But in process, I've got a hat to complement the booties. Same kind of color scheme. But, ooh, my yarn was caught on my Notions pouch. This is the Journey of the Aviator hat. I've made it a couple different times. Actually, I made it for Hats for Kiddos a couple of years ago. And I've gotten this far on it. Wait, okay, let's see. There's that. And then there will be a flap that comes, this little flap here gets tacked down. And then the ear flaps, of course, hang down. And then the crown decreases will be in stockinette, and they will be, it'll be black. So then it will complement the booties. I'm really excited about this too. And while I've got the momentum, I'll probably make another one of these, maybe not this color scheme, but something similar for Hats for Kiddos again. Since I've got the needles and everything out, and I've got the yarn right here. So that's in process. Also in process is the Sophie shawl. Every year, I think I talked about this before, every year for the goodie bag for Into the Wool, each attendee gets a kit. I sew a bag of some shape or another that's changed every year, and then Dana dyes yarn based on the fabric of the bag, and then we reach out to a designer who will then take the yarn and design something with it, and then each attendee gets the complete kit. Well, this year we decided to reach out to both knitwear and crochet designer, and Connie Lee Lynch was our crochet designer, and Danny Thewin, who is Lenoir on Ravelry, was our knitwear designer, and she designed the Sophie shawl. And I had started it as a test knit back in August, but I did not get it finished. But she had finished hers, of course, and unfortunately she wasn't able to make it to the retreat with us this year, but she sent her shawl along with a friend so that we could have it on display for people to see. So there goes the medic chopper. So every skein of yarn was a little bit different, just like the bags, because the bags were made out of a batik this year, so everyone was just a little bit different just by the nature of the batik dyeing process, just like the yarn dyeing process. And Dana's yarns really depend a lot on her dyeing style, but also her water. Whatever is happening in the valley where she lives will throw off. So anyway, every skein is a one of a kind, and mine happened to be more on the gray scale of things, the blue-gray scale of things, whereas some skeins were more on the purple scale of things. But anyway, this is the yarn, and it is called, it's either Fiber Friends and Frolic or Friends Fiber and Frolic. I don't know, it's got those three words in there somehow or another. I left the tag in the house. But just to, also this is a BFL sock base, which is something new that she brought in just for this year's retreat, and it's 600, I don't remember, there's a lot of yardage in this. Here comes the rain. Let me see. 657 yards, I think, something like that. But anyway, so she designed it to use up most all of it, but it's kind of the concept of, you start off with just, you know, really simple social patterning, or patterning that's appropriate for you to talk and work on at the same time at the event, at the retreat, wherever, and then you go home and there's patterning involved, more heavy. Oh my goodness. Apparently the rain is maybe not able to speak. There will be patterning to come, more than just stockinette. Words. Okay. So, and I'm sure you're not here for my eloquence. If you've been with me for a minute, you'll know that, you know, that's not how I roll. So this was the bag that I sewed, just so you can get a, like, where the inspiration for the colors came from, because there's some rusts and some blues. There's a little bit of everything in here, and this was the bag. This bag is a bucket, and then you draw up the handles and it becomes, you know, a handled bag, that you can carry along with you. So, so some of the bags had more purple in the fabric. Some of them had more blue, or the gray. There was a lot of that, like bluey gray. So there's that. And okay, the only other thing that I have in process is spinning. I think I'm gonna have to pause 1 second. My husband's back. Be right back. Hello, me again. I'm splicing these two videos together, or 3 videos, I believe now. This might be a record for me, because my husband came home and we were talking before he had to turn around and leave again. He's a tow truck driver, so he comes and goes very often throughout the day and night. And so anyway, and that took me up until the time that I had to go pick up my son, and then also it did in fact start raining. So a combination of all those things, and now here we are almost an hour later, but I'm back. So I was starting to talk about my spinning, because that's the only other thing that I have going on right now, and it lost my train of thought, sorry. There's a cat walking around and I'm not sure of her intentions. I keep thinking she's gonna jump up on the table that I've got here. I haven't touched this in a little while, but it's a braid, I think I showed it. I'm pretty sure it's a mixed BFL dyed by Unwind Yarn Company in the Bougainvillea colorway. I split the braid in half. I've got half on my manual wheel, my Kromsky Sonata, and then I put the other half on my Electric Eel Nano. Just kind of to see what the difference would be. So I didn't pull out the Kromsky because it's still in its carrying case, and that was just a big hassle because it's buried deep in my closet. But I do have the Nano because it fits in a lunch bag, and I also took it with me to Into the Wool. I did manage to spin on it for maybe about 10 minutes while I was giving a little demonstration to a couple of people who were very interested in it. So hey, Deb and Stacy, in case you're watching. So this is it. You know, a vibrant pink and just the natural dark from the BFL. And this is what it looks like on the bobbin. I have this bump, and then I have the other half of it to go. So this is roughly an ounce. And so I'll do 2 ounces on this wheel, 2 ounces on the other wheel, and we'll see what we come up with. I took it, sorry, hair, which will not be here the next time you see me because, praise the Lord, I'm going to have a haircut on Tuesday. My birthday. I turned 40 earlier this month, and I spent the day up in the mountains at Shenandoah National Park, which is exactly the way I wanted to spend the day. And I took my little Nano with me, found a picnic table, took my little picnic lunch, ate my lunch, which was all the foods that I wanted to take. Chicken salad on potato rolls, because that's what I like to do on my birthday. And after I ate, I spun a little bit as I was sitting there appreciating the view and the quiet, just the blessed quiet of the mountains, because at that point there really weren't that many people there. So anyway, that's where I made some progress on that. Okay, I think, let me look at my notes here because maybe I should reference them. I end up making these notes and then I hit stop and I realized that I still missed half the things that I was supposed to talk about. I see I was supposed to talk about my nails. Maybe that's, I don't know if that's going to show or not. Anyway, this is Sunset Boulevard Color Street nail strips. They're kind of fallish. So I'm appreciating them. And okay, projects to come. I'm going to make a bonbon, which is the bunny pattern from Susan Claudino. I made it earlier this year for Daniela's birthday, and then the baby knits that I made, or that I'm making, the sister is getting this little bunny because she's 3, and I felt like she would, you know, she deserves a little present of her own, since her brother's going to be getting all the love and attention for a little bit. Well, I'm sure all the attention, I'm sure not the love. So anyway, I'm just going to make that out of a marled acrylic that I've made baby hats out of before. It's pink and white, kind of like it almost looks like it's barber pulled. So as soon as I get the baby hat finished, then I'm going to jump on and do the bunny, and hopefully get those to them relatively soon, because the baby's due sometime this month of October, but I'm not exactly sure what part of the month. So yes, that's to come. And the other thing that is to come is a new craft to me, and that is vinyl cutting. My mother, for my birthday, surprised me with a cameo, a silhouette cameo 4. I had asked or talked about it a while ago. I had said I was going to use some of my earnings from the wholesale sale of the bags for the retreat kit to buy myself a cameo, and she jumped off and did it for me. So I'm so excited about it. But I got it the week before I left to go to Tennessee, and I haven't even unboxed it yet. I did download the software. Fun fact. The software is not supported by a Chromebook, and that is what I had. So, and I've been very happy with my Chromebook. It allows Dana and I to operate Google Drive, and that's how we're able to coordinate retreat from over 600 miles separating us. So anyway, I just decided to buy a, a cheap Windows laptop so that I can just keep all the vinyl related stuff on that. It's probably going to work out better that way. So got the laptop, was able to download the software, been playing with it a little bit. I still have not taken the Cameo out of its box. I've got to decide where I'm going to put it. That's going to be a problem. I'm not sure. Baby steps. In the meantime, I've ordered some vinyl and just been looking around at options, watching a lot of YouTube videos on the software and the possibilities. I also bought a heat press because I'm planning on cutting some things out of heat transfer vinyl, using the heat press to fuse them down. Not sure where I'm going to put that either. Probably Grandma's basement, maybe. I don't plan on using it a whole lot, but it's definitely beneficial to have when I want it. Dana helped me, she gave me some pointers while I was at her place. She was kind enough to press me 2 shirts of my own while I was there and let me pick out a design and some vinyl and walk me through some things. So that was definitely helpful because they're not things I would have known at all. So that is exciting. And also along those veins, because Dana's a huge enabler, I had bought some supplies to make my own of the epoxy cups. You saw my cup earlier. Just for gifts. I don't intend to get into any kind of business with these, but I've got some glitter, I've got the cup turner, I've got epoxy coming, all these things, just, for another fun outlet of craft. So my niece, my sister and her family live in North Carolina, so that's about, where they live is about 4.5 hours away. So they were up this past weekend to celebrate my grandmother's 90th birthday. And my niece is 12. She's actually almost 13. And while they were here, she asked to come visit for a little while to spend some one-on-one time with me. So she came over, she brought her categories game. I'm terrible at categories, FYI. So if you ever want to play me and beat me in something, that's probably the game to do it. I'm just not good at all with thinking quickly on my feet. I need a lot of, my processing time is very long. So anyway, but it was good to stretch my mind as well. And of course it was fun to spend time with her. While she was here though, we made some epoxy pendants, projects. I let her look at my glitters and I mixed up some resin epoxy and she poured them into molds to make car coasters. And I told her they weren't going to be cured by the time they had to leave, so I told her that I would pop them out and then send them in the mail. So I figured I'd just go ahead and do that here because I told her I'd send her a video, so I'm just going to send her to this YouTube video, which she's a fan of anyway. So this is, there's 2 of them, 2 different sizes. They're only slightly different in size, but her mom drives a minivan, so I'm sure that one or both of these will fit. But it was so fun to watch someone else jump in and just play and explore. She's way less inhibited than I am, so anyway. So all we're going to do here is simply peel it out. Oh, this is so pretty. The blue is a chunky glitter that she chose, and it sank to the bottom because this is how it was sitting. Shoot, too bad I don't have a flashlight handy. But anyway, I'm sure you can see some of the glitz. And because I'm using my phone, there's no autofocus. But anyway, that's that one. And then this one, she chose some different colors, mixed them together. It's what they would call in the glitter world basically like a dump cup. Like you would take all these different colors and just dump them together, and this is what you'd end up with. So same thing, I'm just gonna pop it out here. There's a little bit of overlap there, but it just flakes off, and I'll hit it with some really fine sandpaper to smooth that down just a little bit, but boop. And that's what that one looks like on the inside. The back side, so pretty. Okay, and then because there was still a little bit left over, poured them into some smaller molds. We've got this, and she chose these because she thought maybe she could make them into earrings. So I'm just gonna push them out. One, and don't want to lose it because it would become a toy for a cat. End up under my fridge and we'd never see it again. Golly, I can't hardly hold these. Ha! They're so teeny. Anyway, there we are. This was like a gunmetal gray, a little darker than that she chose for this. And the second one is a heart. Just push that out from behind and boom. It's cute. And then she's got a couple of pendants here. These molds have holes in them, so you can turn them into a necklace, you can turn them into a keychain, you know, whatever. A little bit hung up on the, there we are. Teardrop shape, and then there is an oval. Just push it out, pull it up. Look at the sparkle in that. It's gonna catch the light so well. And then the last one is a puzzle piece. And, well, that one is a little bit more tricky. Straight out. Okay, there we go. And it's got the hole there for the string or whatever. So cute. Okay, V, so I will be sending these to you. And these were glitters that were purchased at either Fran's Glitter and More or Glitter Chimp, because of those are the two manufacturers or distributors, I should say, that I've ordered from for this new venture. So that is that. I don't have a fun fact about Southern Maryland this time because I thought I would just give a quick recap of Into the Wool. In case you're new, here Into the Wool Fiber Retreat is, excuse me, is a fibery knitting, crochet, spinning, weaving. We've never had anybody cross stitch there, but I mean, of course, you know, any needlework is welcome. Or, you know, if someone wants to tag along that doesn't do any kind of needlework, we will teach them, or, you know, they can just come and enjoy our grounds, whatever. This happens every year in Middle Tennessee, and generally happens the third weekend of September. This year or next year, we aimed for the fourth weekend, but it maybe doesn't look like we're going to get it. We're probably going to get the third weekend, but it's okay as long as it happens, right? So the weather was phenomenal this year. It was very temperate. It was like low to mid 70s during the day, upper 50s, low 60s at night. It was just perfect. Light breeze. It, you know, couldn't say anything more about how wonderful it was. It gave us the opportunity to wear knitwear if you were smart enough to bring enough. We had a small group. We had precautions in place for keeping everyone safe. Thankfully, here we are. Let me see. We all left each other on the 20th of September, and today is the 1st of October. There have been no reported cases of COVID or symptoms, or suspected cases of COVID, anything like that. We've had 3 attendees have tests. They all tested negative. And, you know, I give all the kudos and credit to Dana for, you know, putting all these precautions into place. She followed the CDC recommendations to the letter and kept us all safe and happy. There were 53 people, I believe, on site. We had a couple that had to pull out very last minute. But it was great. The people that were there wanted to be there, and so they followed the rules as to, you know, wearing masks in social situations where, you know, we had to be in an enclosed space. Everyone followed along with our assigned meal times. That was something new for us. It was just, you know, it was a good time. The market was great. Everyone that was there, you know, was very excited to be able to shop in person, because that hadn't been able to happen at any other festival this year. Most everything was canceled. In person, of course, there was, you know, still several things that have taken place and will take place virtually. So, you know, it's always a good time, and it was this year as well. Yeah, I don't think there's really much more to say. I'm sure I'll probably think of 100 things when I stop recording, but and then once the retreat was over, I spent one more night with Dana, and then I moved on for a couple of days to go visit my son, who lives just under 2 hours away from her, since I was virtually in the area anyway, and had a nice visit with him. So yeah, it was just a good, well-rounded trip. I was gone for 10 days, and now I'm back home, and we're jumping into the autumn season. Evenings are chilly, daytimes are very nice, although today was a little bit hot compared to what it has been. And this weekend I'm taking a motorcycle trip with my husband and several friends. We're going to back to Shenandoah. So I've got an annual pass, and I'm going to make good use of it. So yeah, I think I've got a cat who's trying to jump on the counter. Ziva, get down. Hey, get down. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a winner for a bag for those who entered the contest that I put up shamefully over a month ago, saying that I was going to do a drawing. So I thank you for your patience with me on that. But your patience has paid off if you're the winner, because I've decided to give away a bag that was in the kit. So I did 2 schemes here. One with gray. No, this is gray. Haha. And this is purple, obviously. Straps or casings. And they're, you know, other than that, the bags are exactly the same inside. So the winner will get to choose whether they want the gray or the purple casing. And there were 5 people that entered, and I thank you all for, you know, for reaching out and for liking and, you know, just sticking with me. Things should be getting back to normal now that the retreat is over, now that it's cooling down. I still am not working outside the home yet, because until schools open back up in person, I won't be working. So anyway, that's to say that I will have some free time. Still a little tricky with my husband in and out all day, but anyway, let me see. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, 5 people. And I'm not sure that this is gonna show very well here, but click to spin, and the winner is going to be Helen Sprite 966. You are the winner. Woohoo! So let me know if you would prefer the gray or the purple when you reach out to me. You can send me an Instagram message. You can send me an email at theprojectbag@yahoo.com to let me know what your mailing address is over there across the pond, and what your preference is for the bag. So congratulations, and thank you again everyone for reaching out to me on that. So I guess that is all until next time. Yeah, I've got watching and reading, but I'm really not doing any of that right now other than football, because y'all, college football is back. Whoop, whoop. So yeah, I think I will say goodbye for now because I've gone a little long this time, but not surprising given how long it's been since I put up an episode. So thank you again for joining me, and look for another podcast in the near-ish future. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with monthly. Perhaps maybe now that I've got a little more time on my hands, I'll go back to every 2 weeks, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. So until next time, take care, y'all. Bye.